If you're 52 and think your 401k will save you, I've got bad news. You're not building wealth. You're funding Wall Street's retirement, not yours. Before we begin, I'm not a financial advisor. This is educational content based on historical analysis. Always consult with licensed professionals before making investment decisions. Most of you are sitting on a ticking time bomb and you don't even hear it. You're 52, maybe 55. You've been funding a 401k for 25 years. You check the balance and it looks solid 400,000, maybe 5. You feel like you're on track, but here's what nobody told: that money isn't yours. Not yet. And by the time it is, half of it might be gone, not because the market crashed, but because of taxes, inflation, and required minimum distribution that turn your nest egg into a government feeding tube. Meanwhile, there's another path, one that Wall Street doesn't want you to know about, because if you take it, they don't get their 2%. Today, I'm going to show you two 52-year-olds, same savings, same income, same starting point, but completely different strategies. One stays the course, maxes out his 401k, dollar cost averages into index funds, and hopes the market cooperates for the next 13 years. The other takes his capital and buys cash-flowing business, small, boring, profitable. By 65, one of them has a portfolio he can't touch without penalties. The other has a self-sustaining income engine that doesn't depend on whether the S&P is up or down. This isn't theory. This is the playbook Ray Kroc used when he was 52 and broke. And it's the same playbook that could change your next 30 years if you're willing to stop being a passive investor and start being an active builder. Let's break it down. The myth of the 30-year timeline. Here's the lie they sold you. Save for 30 years, retire at 65, and live off your portfolio. But you're 52. You don't have 30 years. You've got 13. That's not a retirement runway. That's a whole second act. And if you're still playing the Wall Street game, dollar cost averaging, rebalancing quarterly, chasing 7% returns, you're not building wealth. You're renting it, and Wall Street is your landlord. The 401k tax trap. Let's talk about Jim. He's 52. He's got $400,000 in his 401k. He maxes it out every year, $23,000, plus the $7,000-500 catch-up contribution. Once he hits 50, his employer matches 4%. $400,000, growing at 7% for 13 years. That's about $960,000 on paper. Sounds great, right? But here's where Wall Street stops talking. Jim's in the 24% federal tax bracket. He lives in a state with 6% income tax. So every dollar he pulls out at 65, 30 cents goes to the government. Right off the top, $960,000 minus 30% in taxes, that's $670,000 in actual spending power. But wait, there's more: inflation. Let's be conservative and say 3% annually. Over 13 years, that $670,000 in future dollars is worth about $450,000 in today's purchasing power. So Jim worked for 13 more years, saved aggressively, rode out market volatility, and in real terms, he's got roughly the same buying power he started with. Oh, and one more thing. Required minimum distribution. At 73, the IRS forces Jim to start pulling money out whether he needs it or not. And guess what? That pushes him into higher tax bracket, triggers Medicare surcharges, and turns his retirement into a tax optimization nightmare. That's not a retirement plan. That's a government annuity with your name on it. The Wall Street toll booth. Here's what they don't tell you. Wall Street makes money when you're active. Every trade, every rebalance, every managed fund. You know what Warren Buffett calls that? Paying the toll taker to walk in circle. You're burning shoe leather while someone else collects the toll. The average actively managed fund charges 1 to 2% in fees. Doesn't sound like much, right? Over 30 years, that 1% fee can eat up to 30% of your total return. You're not getting rich. You're making your fund manager rich. And here's the kicker. You have zero control. The market goes down, you lose. The market goes sideways, you lose time. The market goes up, you make 7%, while inflation eats 3 and taxes take another 2. That's not wealth building. That's wealth preservation at best. Meet Ray. Now let's talk about Ray. Same age, same 400,000 in saving, but Ray doesn't put another dime into his 401k. Instead, he takes 250,000 and buys a small, boring business. Not a tech startup, not a franchise dream, a car wash, a laundromat, a small HVAC company with 50 years of customer data and a 72-year-old owner who's ready to retire. He finances the rest with an SBA loan, 75% loan to value, 10-year term, reasonable interest rate, because the business has a track record. Year 1, Ray's learning. He's operationally involved. He's fixing broken systems, meeting customers, understanding the cash flow. The business nets in $60,000 after debt service. Not life-changing, but it covers his expenses while his 401k sits untouched. Year 3, he's optimized operations. He's cut waste, renegotiated supplier contracts, and hired a part-time manager. The business now nets him $90,000 annually, and he's got his eye on a second acquisition. Year 5, he buys another small business using a self-direct IRA rollover from his old 401k. Now inside an LLC structure that lets him invest in real business, not just stocks. This one's a small HVAC operation, nets another $70,000 a year. In an optimistic scenario where things go right, no recessions, no catastrophic mistake, good hires, he might have 3 locations running by year 10. But that's best case. The reality is most multi-unit operators face at least one major setback in that time frame. Equipment fails, key employees quit, markets shift. But let's say Ray navigates those challenges. By year 10, he's got a general manager running day-to-day operation, and he's pulling $200,000 a year in distributions, while the equity value of his portfolio sits at around $1.2 million. At 65, Ray's got options. He can sell the whole portfolio and potentially walk away with several million in after-tax proceeds, often taxed at capital gains rates, not ordinary income. Or he can keep the cash flow and pass the businesses to his kid, who get a stepped-up base, pay 0 capital gain. Jim's got a 401k he can't touch without penalties. Ray's got a legacy. Ray Kroc had skin in the game. Jim just has skin in the market. There's a difference. Who was Ray Kroc? Let's talk about the guy who proved this works. Ray Kroc, 52 years old, broke, divorced, selling milkshake machines for a living. Most people at 52 are thinking about winding down. Ray was thinking about building an empire. He didn't invent McDonald's. He bought the operating rights from the McDonald brothers and turned a single burger stand into the most valuable restaurant chain on the planet, worth over $30 billion today. But here's the part nobody talks about. Kroc didn't do it with venture capital. He didn't do it with a trust fund. He did it with franchising, owner-operator discipline, and an obsession with system. He was 52. He had experience. He had operational knowledge, and he had one thing most 25-year-olds don't: the patience to build boring, profitable businesses instead of chasing the next shiny thing. According to a Harvard Business Review study, founders over 50 showed higher success rates in certain metrics compared to younger founders, though success was defined specifically as reaching profitability within the first 3 years, not becoming unicorn. Why this works at 52. You've already done your 30-year sentence in corporate America. The question is, what are you going to build with the next 30? Because here's the truth. You've got advantages that a 25-year-old doesn't. You've got a network. You know people who can write checks, open doors, and vouch for you. You've got capital, not generational wealth, but enough to make a down payment on a real asset. You've got operational experience. You've seen bad managers. You've seen good systems. You know what works. And most importantly, you've got time. Not 30 years, but 13 good years to build something. And if you build it right, it runs without you. That's the difference between a job and a business. A job ends when you stop working. A business keeps going. Jim's path, the Wall Street retirement. Jim stays the course. He maxes out his 401k for 13 more years. He rebalances quarterly. He dollar cost averages through volatility. At 65, he's got $960,000 on paper. After taxes, penalties, and inflation, he's got maybe $450,000 in real purchasing power. He pulls out 4% a year, $18,000. Add Social Security. Let's say another $30,000. That's $48,000 a year. Not poverty, but not freedom either. He can't travel 6 months a year. He can't help his grandkids with college. He's managing a budget, not building a legacy. And here's the worst part. He's still exposed to market risk. If there's a crash at 67, his portfolio drops 30% and he's back to square one. Ray's path, the business builder. Ray took a different route. He bought boring businesses. He optimized them. He hired managers. By 65, he's potentially pulling $200,000 a year in distribution. His portfolio of businesses might be worth $1.2 million, but he doesn't have to sell. He can pass it to his kids with a stepped-up basis. If he does sell, he pays capital gains 15 to 20%, not ordinary income, and he can structure it as an installment sale, spreading the tax hit over years. But here's the real difference. Ray's income doesn't depend on the S&P 500. It depends on businesses he controls. Recession? His car wash still runs. His HVAC company still gets service calls. His laundromat still processes loads. He's not hoping the market cooperates. He's not praying the Fed pivot. He's running businesses that print cash regardless of what's happening on Wall Street. The choice. So which one are you right now? Be honest. Are you Jim hoping the market cooperates for 13 more years? Or are you ready to become Ray and take control? Because in 13 years, one of these guys is going to look back with regret. Make sure it's not you. Step 1. Audit your capital. Take inventory. How much do you have in taxable account? How much in your 401k or IRA? How much in home equity? You don't need $1 million. You need $200,000 to $400,000 in accessible capital. If it's tied up in a 401k, look into a self-directed IRA or a rollover into an LLC structure that lets you invest in real businesses. Step 2. Identify boring, profitable businesses. Forget sex. Forget tech. Look for businesses that have been around for 20 years and are run by someone who wants to retire. Car washes, laundromat, small manufacturing, AV company, pest control. These aren't glamorous, but they're profitable, predictable, and hard to disrupt. Use BizBuy, Sell, business brokers, or your own network. The best deals never hit the market. They're sold to people the owner trusts. Step 3. Get operationally involved. At first, you're not buying a passive investment. You're buying a business. That means you need to understand it. Spend the first year in the weed. Learn the systems. Meet the customers. Fix what's broken. Then hire a general manager and step back. But you can't delegate what you don't understand. Step 4. Rinse and repeat. Once the first business is stable, buy another one. Use cash flow from the first to fund the second. Build a portfolio. By 65, you're not managing businesses, you're managing managers. The real question you've already put in your 30 years. The question is, what are you going to do with the next 30? Wall Street wants you passive, compliant, grateful for 7%, but you've got something they can't take: experience, capital, and the ability to build. Ray Kroc was 52 and broke. Harlan Sanders started KFC at 62. Sam Walton was 44 when he opened the first Walmart. You're not too old. You're exactly the right age. Now, I'm not saying dump your 401k tomorrow. That would be reckless. What I'm saying is, understand the limitations, and if you do explore alternatives like self-directed IRAs or business ownership, know that you're trading market risk for operational risk. You can lose everything if you pick the wrong business or don't execute properly. Diversification isn't just for stocks. Reality check. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, about 20% of small businesses fail in their first year, 50% within 5 years. If you go this route, you need contingency plans for failure, not just success. Many people who try this lose their initial capital, but if you pick right, execute well, and stay disciplined, you're not just building wealth, you're building a legacy. Your grandkids won't remember your 401k balance, but they'll remember the business you built, the lessons you taught, the legacy you left. What story are you writing? Remember, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Every investment carries risk, including the risk of total loss. This content is for educational purposes only and should not be considered personalized financial advice. Always work with licensed professionals before making major financial decisions. If this resonated with you, hit subscribe. I break down unconventional wealth strategies for people who are tired of being told to sit still and wait. And if you want to dive deeper into how to structure these deals, find businesses, and build a portfolio, check the link in the description. You've got 13 years. Let's make them count.